As citizens of this country, it is our responsibility to remember and pay homage to the sacrifices that have been made by our freedom fighters in order to free our country from foreign rule. But do we, as responsible citizens, fulfill our duty? Do we remember them? Do we remember their valor? And do we remember their sacrifices? Do we? Namaste. My name is Raj Sunar. I'm from Laimia Shitang, East Khasi Hills District, Meghalaya. One such freedom fighter who has been neglected over the years is Ukyang Nongba. Ukyang Nongba emerged as a freedom fighter from the Jaintia Hills. A peaceful farmer, he was driven to protect his motherland when he saw how the British treated his fellow people, imposed unfair taxation, and disrupted their religious tradition. He was unanimously elected as the leader of the Jaintia resistance and led attacks on the British. The attacks spread across the Jaintia Hills. So severe and widespread was the uprising that the British had to call in 7 of its army regiments to suppress it. It was so severe. For a matter of fact, their resistance and war tactics was so modern and advanced that the British had never expected something like this to come from the Jaintia Hills. They were stunned, they were surprised. And guess what? It was so effective that for the first time, the Britishers had started to doubt their future in Jaintia Hills and the entire northeastern region. But unfortunately, Nongba was betrayed by one of his teammates himself and captured by the British. And despite his ill health, Nongba resisted and he gave a fierce fight to the Britishers. But at the end, the betrayal was too strong a burden for the hero that was Ukyang Nongba. But as William Shakespeare once rightly said, cowards die many times before their deaths. The valiant never taste of death but once. So was in the case of our hero, Ukyang Nongba. Even standing at the gallows, his last words were said to be, "If my face turns eastward, my motherland will be liberated after 100 years from the foreign yoke." And guess what? He was proved right, with India gaining its independence from Britain 85 years later. This was the heroism that was in this great man, Ukyang Nongba. Unfortunately, the students today know very little about this great hero. In fact, there is no mention about him and his sacrifices in the CBSE textbooks. For a matter of fact, in the MBOS textbook, MBOS Class 9 Social Science textbook, there is only one small paragraph dedicated towards Ukyang Nongba and his great valor and sacrifices. Just one paragraph. Is this enough? Is this enough for us as citizens to learn about this great hero, to learn about his sacrifices? Is this enough? This is definitely not enough. This is definitely not enough, and definitely there is a lot that needs to be done from the government side. But we as citizens and people of this great nation can also contribute. We can contribute a lot by learning more about our heroes, by talking more about our heroes, and most importantly, by living a life more on the teachings of our heroes. We need to preserve our culture. We need to preserve our identity. Most importantly, we need to preserve and promote the correct history of our country. It's time to do it. It's time to definitely do it. Jai Hind, Bharat Mata Ki Jai.